How to be an extrovert. Number 1, smile and greet everybody. 2, ask how everyone's day is going. Number 3, give high fives to people that like that kind of stuff. Number 4, handshakes and fist bumps are okay too. Number 5, stand with a tall posture, no slouched shoulders. And number 6, eliminate uncomfortable silence. Because after all, uncomfortable silence is like kryptonite to the extrovert. And yes, that's my cynicism. Okay, so maybe I'm being a little facetious. Facetious means treating serious issues with deliberate, inappropriate humor. Flippant. I had to Google that word to make sure that I was using it right. I'm naturally introverted person, and depending on the situation, I can be extroverted. The problem I find with introvert, extrovert descriptions of people is that they assign labels. You get labeled. I just labeled myself an introvert. I'm a personal trainer and I'm a powerlifter. These are labels. These labels have a tendency to force us into a box. Although it is true most of the time, it isn't always. Labeling is limiting. And I just said I'm an introvert. So that means I must do what introverts do. I need to stereotype myself. Of course I don't. But here's the but. By calling myself introverted, I subconsciously box myself in. I mentally encase myself into an identity of one word. We are humans, and as humans, we are highly adaptable, multifaceted creatures. If we're grown up and lived our life up to a certain way, there's no reason that we have to keep living that way if we don't feel like it, if we don't want to. We are free to make a choice. I watched the Avengers this past Wednesday. It was pretty good, the Age of Ultron. But there was this quote that really stuck out in my head, and I forgot who said it. If you know, leave a comment. We ultimately create what we fear. I think it was Scarlet Witch or something. I'm probably paraphrasing it, but we bring to reality our fears. And this ties into another quote that I love. You become what you think about the most. And during my dark periods, during my hard times, I don't think about anything good. And that's why I'm constantly listening to podcasts, YouTube channels, audiobooks. I'm sort of a self-development junkie. My fears consume me and they eat at me. I'm my own worst enemy. And in real life, and sometimes under the barbell. But it's through conquering the fear that brings us to life. It really brings life out of us. Although I have introverted tendencies, I also have extroverted tendencies as well. I have to remind myself that I'm constantly changing. I'm changing because I'm making myself better. I don't squat, bench, and deadlift the same exact weight for the same number of reps every single week. I lift to become mentally strong and physically strong. If I were to keep telling myself that I'm a powerlifter, I'm introverted or whatever, it will subconsciously implant ideas in my mind that I must act and think a certain way. The same thing goes if I were not a powerlifter or if I was a type of extrovert. I would mold the stereotype. I'm Ryan Saplin. Who are you? Who are you? What's your name? Just think you are, I am, say your name. You can be whatever the fuck you want. Of course, you still have to have some self-awareness. The reason why I call this video or article The Fake Extrovert is because for a big chunk of my life, early in my career as a personal trainer and as a manager, I forced myself into becoming an extrovert. I got promoted. I got more clients. This was back when I worked for 24 Hour Fitness. But it was draining. It was fatiguing. And it was like I was trying to be something that I wasn't. It was so hard. And the more I tried to be someone that I wasn't, the worse I got at it, because it was like I was trying to live this life or person that wasn't me. And you think that, sure, pushing yourself outside your comfort zone, but there's limits to what your comfort zone is, because if you get way out, it's just gonna, I don't know. I'm trying to put this in the correct words, but it's tough because, they say push yourself outside your comfort zone, But what if outside your comfort zone isn't the direction you want to go? I think that's what it really comes down to. If you don't feel like the direction you're going is where you want to be, actually Seth Godin, one of my favorite authors, he talked about this. He said, the story was that he was in a care home, like for old people that, they can't take care of themselves. And he was doing business analyst, and he was taking care of people, trying to figure out the business and help people. And he was just thinking to himself, if I have to do this every single day to get to where I want to be, I don't want to go there. And, when you hear that, you're just like, sure, I'm making $1 million, $1 billion, maybe be remembered in a positive, successful way. But what if you're miserable the whole time? Like I said, it was draining. But I did what I had to do. I could do it because it, being extroverted, being this way helped me get more business. It helped me get promoted. It helped me sort of get out of my element. It pushed me. It made me better. I learned a lot of things, but it also ruined me. Now I'm not in management, and I'm pretty damn happy. I have a family, I'm married. I got, I'm doing fine. I got a YouTube channel. I mean, I'm not nearly as afraid to express myself. And eventually, I'm going to live on my own fucking terms. And that's really what it's about. It's about living on your own terms. And I remember Elliot Hull saying in the video that you can be, no matter who you like or dislike, I forgot who he was talking about, but you got to respect the man that can live on their own terms, that can make their own income, that doesn't depend on a job. They depend on their own business. And ultimately, that's where I want to go, and that's what I want to be. But in the process, I'm still going to enjoy the process of working at the gym. I'm going to enjoy the process of raising my family and squeezing in as much time in between to make these videos for you, to write articles, and just grow my brand. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I do know that I enjoy doing this, and I do know I get positive comments and people get something out of it, and I'll get better at it. And you never know what's going to happen, but I do know that I get a lot more out of this than you can ever realize. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys on the next